All right, guys, I had set up this whole little stand and everything, trying to get you guys a nice fancy video, but didn't work. Got too hot, all that stuff. So I'm going live here and I'll make a better video later, I guess. But just to get this out there, I wanted to give you guys a quick once over the world. How do you queue? This can be intimidating. We have a Q School document. We have a landing page on the website. There's a lot of information there. And honestly, some of it's good. Some of it you don't even need. So first thing I'm going to go through some things rapid fire, and I might make a couple videos. We'll see how this all goes. But first is just the overall flow of the workout. So when you're leading a workout, there's a flow and a rhythm to how things are said that helps you facilitate leading the actual workout. So there's a little bit of science, a little bit of art into it, okay? So as you get into there, I want you to just know the basics, and then once you get out there and do it, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest hurdle. Get out there, do it, mess it all up, get a bunch of great constructive feedback from the guys, and move on to doing it again and having your second workout be even awesomer. Okay, yeah, awesomer. So, flow of the workout. When you're leading an exercise, this is the most important thing. I will get into the actual flow of the whole workout, but when you are leading an exercise, there's a couple of key components. First is you're going to state what the exercise is. So you're going to state the exercise, you're going to get them into the ready position, the starting position, and you're going to tell them how to do it, and then you're going to tell them execute. So we start with, I'm going to just say squats. The first exercise or the next exercise is squats. I pause to allow everyone to say it back to me. One part of leading throughout these the workout is not rushing through it. You're going to be nervous and you might mess some things up, but you're going to try to rush through it. You got to slow down. Slow down, just take a breath, take a moment. We'll talk about that in planning out your workout too. There's some other ways, 10 counts and things like that. But in the actual stating of the exercise, you need to give a pause to allow everyone to comprehend what you've just said and acknowledge it. So the next exercise is squats. Everyone, and then I pause and I allow everyone to either repeat it or they may just give you blank stares. But I give that option. Some people say squats, and then I will say starting position, move. So that's going to get them everyone in. If somebody, this is a time where somebody might go, I don't know what this exercise is. And squats is not a great example, but I don't know what this exercise is. And so they're going to yell out, demonstrate. And that's a great point. Either right after you state the exercise or when you say starting position, move, is when you'll get that comment of demonstrate. And that will give you an opportunity, show them how it's going to be done. And a key to this, and we'll get it into in counting, is showing them how it goes along with the count. So if you're going to do a 2 count or on my up or on my down, those are things you want to show in your demonstration as well. But the first exercise or the next exercise is squats. Everyone yell squats. All right, starting position, move. I get into my starting position. And then I say how we're going to do it. So in cadence. So in cadence, everyone knows, and they're going to repeat that back to me. So they're going to say in cadence, and then I say exercise. And when I say exercise, that's when right after that we get into counting, and we're going to talk about counting 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So we're going to get into that in a moment. But what is the exercise? The next exercise is get them into the starting position. Starting position, move. And then give them the how are you going to do it. In cadence, and then they repeat it, and then exercise. You can do on my up, on my down, 2 count. You can say in cadence, and this is going to be a 2 count. If it's something unusual other than a 4 count, you're going to want to call that out. Okay, what is it, man makers or whatever, or any of those types of things where you just it can get kind of confusing and people can get lost in the sauce. You might want to demonstrate that before you start executing. But that gives you just a once over the world how we go through this. Now, cadence. Cadence is a big thing. That's counting. The way in which you say it with confidence, but the way in which you say it is going to dictate the end of the workout too. There's an inflection in your tone, which we'll get to here in a moment. But the key is you're saying the exercise and you're doing the movement. So there are times when people will start counting and they're just going 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, and it's just going, and they're not moving into that position. So for squats, right, I'll kind of do this a little bit. You're gonna go, you know, in cadence, exercise. 1, 2, 3, 1. Everyone repeats it on 4. Everyone will repeat it on a 4 count. If it's an 8 count, you go all to 6, 7, and then they state it. You don't have to count unless you want to with them. That can be a chance for you to catch breath too. There's been times where I just 1, 2, 3, then I go let them say it and do it, but the rest of the pack should count the reps for you. The other element of that is when you're ready to end. So let's say I'm getting to 10. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2. I go all the way 1, 2, 3, 8, 1, 2, 3, 9. Now I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and then instead of the count, which would be 10, they're gonna say halt. That gives everyone that inflection in your voice. 1, 2, 3, start up, go down, go back up. That gives everyone, it's gotta be very distinctly different, but that will give everyone an opportunity to hear that that this is the last rep. So if they're struggling, they might just give it a last little go for that last rep, or at least for everyone to know that we are ending the exercise, and instead of counting, they're gonna say halt, and that's in. And then you can say recover. That one is not as important, but it does help if you're doing an exercise where you are going from one exercise to the same, and it's the same starting position, and you don't want them to recover. Recover is like the ending thing, and we can get into that later, but basically I'll sometimes say recover, or you know, then we go right into the next exercise. It's not as important as the other aspects of it. Counting is very important. So we talked about how to start an exercise. We talked about counting. Those are the biggest things that you need to know. Some other ancillary things that I think are also important to talk through is when you're leading a workout, you're planning it out. There's so many great resources. I can, you know, ping me, ping anybody, ping the SiteQ. You got the XCon across the nation. You got our Backblast. You can reference on the web. Lots of different resources out there. There's other even regions that sometimes we'll pull through. I love Go Blue gave me the Orleans, the NOLA website. They have a great Backblast as well. So there's some great resources out there that you can find. But when you're planning it out, I'd encourage you to be planning it out for everybody. So think about, you're gonna have some guys that are struggling. You're gonna have some guys that are beast mode, right? You need to be able to find if there's an exercise or a routine that might be pushing some of the guys that are struggling a bit, then you need to figure out what kind of modifications you might do. So you might want to have some modifications ready. So we're gonna do some squats here. We're gonna do 300 squats. It's gonna be a lot. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna break them up in these sets. If you need to modify, what I would suggest is doing a little Al Gore or doing this so you can give them a kind of some ideas on how to modify. People will modify as they need to, and that's something that you would encourage at the beginning of the workout too, which I'll get to here in a moment. But your plan should encompass everybody. That's really important. The guys that are struggling, that's what Pick Up the 6 is all about. If you can plan a workout where you can have the guys, so if you do a lap, right? You do a little mosey lap or even a sprint or something like that, then at the end of that lap, you're going and getting the 6. That gives the opportunity, that blesses those beast mode guys with a little extra workout as they go pick up the 6 and hop back into the routine of whatever it is. Another way is if you're doing a certain rep count, well, those beast mode guys can contribute to another guy or another team or whatever. But instead of them just sitting around, you're giving them an opportunity to get a little bit more of a workout in, and that's great. And picking up the 6 is such a crucial part of F3, and you need to kind of plan that into your workout as well. Plan more than you would. Then we talked about just how fast you'll go through a workout, through like commands and stuff like that. But if I hadn't said it already, you will naturally go through your commands and things pretty quickly. The same applies to your workout. You'll plan it out. You'll be like, oh, this will take 10 minutes. Typically, it'll take a little bit longer than you think most often, but sometimes you get through it all and you're done and you don't have anything else in the back. You should plan for almost, most of our workouts are 45 minutes, except for abduction, which is an hour. you should plan almost like an hour to an hour 20, so that all of that is inclusive. Now you got warm up, you got announcements at the end, you got Mary. So the thing itself might not be a full 45 minutes if it's a 45-minute workout or an hour. Like, it's going to be smaller than that, but you want to plan in excess so that you're not stuck there not having anything left in the bag if you run through all your exercises and you still have time left over. As I'm thinking through this, I might come and make a second video here because I don't want to ramble, but knowing how to execute on the commands is crucial. And remember, you're leading, okay? So like I said, you're creating a F3 is a lightly veiled leadership development program. It's all about us empowering men to give back into our communities. So that's the whole purpose of what we're doing out here. Yes, it's great, gets you in shape, gets rid of the dad bod, but the biggest thing is that you are getting an opportunity to become a better leader, and your VQ is the crucial step in that. I always am encouraging guys to get out there and do it. So you're on the right path. Do this and execute on this, and this will help. But as you're leading, just remember, throughout the workout, you're responsible for whatever we do or fail to do. So if we don't do something or we do something, it's your responsibility. You're the one that is going to be held accountable for it. Now, is that big pressure? Feels like it, but it's not, because the guys are going to help you out. Your VQ is, like I said, the crucial step in that leadership development, and development needs friction. You need to make mistakes so that you can learn from them. If you don't cue, you'll never know how to cue, right? You'll know it in your head, but it's not when you actually feel the pressure, everyone's watching you and doing all that, that you start learning and you're seeing, oh, well, it's not as easy as I thought it was. You know, as I'm the guy adding the mumble chatter, you know, just the normal packs, adding the mumble chatter to the guy's cue. So those are things I would encourage. I might make a couple other videos here, but those are the big things. If you have any questions or feedback, hit anybody up, the site queue, anybody on the SLT, which is our shared leadership team, myself, just anybody. We would be more than happy to help you in the process of getting your VQ on the books. So that's part one. I'll maybe do another part later.